registrar's office, which is going to be dropping you from your INST classes. They're going to drop you from the classes and re-register you in the IR class, because all the INST classes are going to be becoming IR classes. So now, and everybody knows what IR is, right? Everybody in this class knows what IR is, right? All right, okay. So there you go. We're no longer going to be international studies. We're going to be international relations, which, by the way, is a big deal because your parents probably know what IR is. They are probably asking themselves, what in the world is my daughter doing in an INST class? What is international studies? You tell your dad you're in an IR class. He's going to say, aha, I know what that is. That sounds pretty interesting. Yes, yes, son.
What about the name of the
program? Yeah. You're going to be graduates. If you pursue INST, or we're planning to pursue INST, you are now going to be getting a degree in international relations, which makes a lot more sense around the globe. Because although there are INST programs, but in this region, I mean, it takes you more than 2 sentences to explain to some parent what INST is, and IR is, IR is a lot easier to explain to your parents. Okay, which I think is going to be good for you guys too, because there is an accepted, or there is a curriculum that people expect when they look at an IR program, and we are basically following. We're Tough University is a school that we've looked at, and we're using their model for example. Okay, now, so that would be a statement of intent. That is an intent move. Is everybody with me so far? Okay. Agreement move. Agreement move is when you're talking about a bilateral or a multilateral agreement undertaken, which of course more than one, 2 or more states. Okay. So basically, what that move would do is it states what you've done, the meaning you've had. Okay. Because each move has to have certain information. And that's something that I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes. What a move, because those are to me, the move is really the essence of the game. Okay? So, and typically, let's say you decide to do, you sign an economic treaty, you've signed some sort of military, for example, if you are concerned about, let's say, the whole Israeli-Iranian thing, then a couple of GCC countries can get together and agree on how to deal with a certain situation. They kind of achieve a meeting on the minds for how to deal with a potential war that could emerge between Iran and Israel. Okay? Now, so that would be an agreement move. 2 countries would be bilateral. More than 2 would be multi. Defensive or coercive involve the use of threat. You threaten that if you don't start getting your act together on your border, I mean, one of the things that has been happening between Syria and Lebanon is that the Syrians can go into Lebanon to go after some of the insurgents that are fighting the Syrian army, and they run into Lebanon. So what do the Syrians do? They basically, the Syrians go into Lebanon. Well, if you go into another country, what is that? You're violating the other country's sovereignty. You're not allowed to do what? You're not allowed to go into another country. Actually, you may have heard in the newspaper, the Pakistan has sent a message to the United States saying, no more drones. Which means if the United States launches a drone into Pakistan territory, they've just violated what? Or they've just gone against a request that the Pakistanis have made, which means you could have some political ramifications. Now, whether or not Pakistan is doing that formally, and then there's private discussions underneath or under the table, right? That's a whole nother story, right? That's called, politics.
Professor,
but again, yeah.
When you post the move at the template, you will post for each country or like the move between?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay. All right. Well, first, let me do this slide and come back to your question in a second. So during each period, okay, you post a move. And once your move is posted, everybody that's following the blog gets to see it, right? Yeah. Which means if someone beats you to a move, and your move now becomes obsolete, what do you gotta do? You gotta amend your move, which means you gotta tweet, contact someone, right? Saying, did you see the post that Saudi Arabia just made that post? That creates a problem for our move. Maybe we gotta do something, right? The safest bet is for the first move should always be a statement of intent. Okay? State your position on the issues. State your intent regarding the scenario. Okay? And you should always have at least one statement of intent each move as it relates to the scenario. Meaning, identify the most important issues in the scenario and take a position. Because that requires collaboration only between you and your partner. Okay? Once you get into bilateral, multilateral, now you need a couple of times, at least a whole day. Now, but you need to understand the game, right? So we're going to be starting the game on Wednesday, okay? Which means, we'll start the game in the class. All right, we'll start the game in the class, and then we'll kind of work from our way from there. But eventually, I'm not going to be using the classroom for the games anymore, because I got to let you guys fly the nest and go do your own stuff. Okay? Now you always can contact me if you have a question on the game. And I will accept for the first couple of days, you guys can, can text message me or something, okay, Viber or whatever, because you have my phone number, you could do that, right? But like I said, just make sure that, it's within normal time, okay? Because then you got to deal with the other Professor Kuczynski in the other building, okay? Now, rules to remember. Let's get to your question about posting the moves. All the moves are posted. And why did this happen? This is such an awful. This was not like this, by the way. I don't know. Google did this on its own. Okay, and I'm going to find out. Everything gets posted in Tumblr on that page. Now, what you have to identify the type of move. Okay. You have to have the type of move and your country. Actually, I noticed I didn't put country here. But the type of move, your country. Okay, I'll end this. Type of move, your country. All right, the title of your move. Give it a title and a justification. Justification describes the move. And let's take a look at a couple of examples of moves. Okay. Now, how many PowerPoint slides do I have here? Oh yeah, I've already talked some before I get to the examples. Here are some rules to remember. You got to have at least one move, each move period. And which is the move that I think everybody's got to start off with? Statement of intent. Okay, you identify what issues are important in the scenario and what issue you're going to be working on. So there should be at least one statement of intent for each move period, right? And then of course you can go off and do your coercive moves and do your agreement moves. Okay? Now, they have to be submitted within the time frame. Okay? I put the table. If you go to Tumblr, there's a schedule. There's a calendar on Tumblr, and it says the beginning of move. For example, move 1 begins on Wednesday, and it goes on Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, 11:59, that move period ends. The new move period ends on Friday. Okay? So basically a Saturday morning until the end of Sunday is move period 2.
Yeah.
You guys got it? Okay? So and then your moves are recorded in Tumblr or the time that you've posted them. And that's the time I'll be looking at. Okay? And I'm going to be holding you guys accountable to that. And as I said, at least one move per period. Okay? Now, you can have a coup if you want. You can have a coup. You can, if you're the ambassador to the United Nations and you decide that you want to replace your president or prime minister, you could contact another country.
It's more like a revolution.
Correct. Well, yes. An uprising. An uprising. Because a revolution means transforming the whole system. An uprising means you just get the guy out who's in charge or the woman in charge. You So what you're gonna do is you can have one of those kind of things. But that requires what then? Some underhanded activity, which means when you would turn to your Google Plus and you would do what? Contact people informally, right?
That's me.
Yeah, but that happens all the time. This is not playing, who's in here played Risk? The game Risk?
Yeah.
It's not Risk, ladies, that's just a roll of the dice. No, I play that all the time because, my father bought Risk for our family because the largest country on the Risk board is Ukraine. So of course, being Ukrainian American, that was something that we all played Risk. But this is more like diplomacy. Those of you that don't know what diplomacy is a very popular board game which Henry Kissinger made popular because he had his graduate students play that game in Harvard when he would teach his class. He would have them play. It's called diplomacy. And in many ways, this game is modeled off of diplomacy. Okay? And in diplomacy, you can meet with your teammate or other players privately. You can you can be working nice with your president, you can be engaged in negotiating with other countries while you're plotting with another country to take over. So plotting is okay. Alright? But I'll revisit plotting on Wednesday. Okay, I just need you to start playing the game and I'll tell you how you can do that on Wednesday, okay? Now, let's look at some examples.